anybody joining us. Welcome to Gold Country Wildlife Rescue. We are doing black bear cub intakes, and you'll be seeing Dr. Jamie Payton working on one of the cubs that came to us from Tahoe a couple of weeks ago.
So right now we're basically, we gave them a sedative, so they're nice and calm, and we can be calm because they're calm. And then we're doing a good physical exam. So once they're sedated, we get them hooked up to an ECG that monitors their heart rate and rhythm. And then we also have a monitor to monitor their oxygenation.
We're gonna, that's his. We're trying to track him. He is turning around up there.
We are also currently trying to sedate the sibling of this cub. So you actually see Dr. Eric Johnson over here, who just came over to get some more medication while Jamie works on this little cub.
So for the exam, the other thing I was saying that we're monitoring oxygenation. So you can see this guy's doing really well. His heart rate is normal for him being sedated, and she has a good oxygenation right now. So that's all good. And then we do an exam on their mouth. We look at their eyes. I already looked at her eyes. Her cornea is nice and clear. Everything looks good. And then we look at them on all body systems. So one of the things we're looking at is, what does her hair coat look like? And she has a full hair coat, but what you'll see is it's a little bit dry. So I bet these guys weren't eating as well, but now they're at Gold Country, so they'll be eating really well. But definitely has sort of a generalized dry hair coat with patchy, longer hair with some shorter hair. So everything I'm saying we're also recording, so we can keep track of each of the bears and all their information.
Thank you for recording.
Of course. And so then we look at, of course, all her face. We're going to take a look at her ears. I listen to her heart and her lungs, feel her belly, and pretty much look at all her joints, making sure everything's moving well. There's no lesions on her skin. And then we're also going to collect blood. So we're going to get blood from these guys to make sure their organs are functioning well. Do ultrasounds to make sure all their internal organs in their abdomen look good and there's no issues we need to be aware of. And then we're going to get them some dewormer, make sure we have all the information that we need to kind of keep track and monitor their growth. And then they'll wake up happy and go back to eating.
We could not do this without the team that we have, including Dr. Payton and her husband, who you saw pop in and out of here just a second ago. And then we've got a lot of other folks that come in and help, including people that come along with them and team members from here at Gold Country Wildlife Rescue, like Aspen, you see over here putting on her gloves to help out. So we've done 2 cubs already. We are working on these 2. This is the next set of twins. And then after that, depending on the heat, we may do an exam on one of the other bears who just got a partial exam when it came in. So I'm just going to kind of hold tight and let you guys watch what's going on here for a little bit. We may leave the live and come back when we've got the second cub as well. But for now, I'll just let you guys kind of watch and see.
So, and then for the lung auscultation, good breath sounds in all lung fields. No wheezes or crackles. Now we're going to take a look at her toes, making sure all her joints are moving well. This is kind of a general brief exam. We have to balance, so she's got a little tiny abrasion on her left front paw on the lateral aspect or the side. But we just want to make sure that these guys, when they're in care, we aren't finding anything that we need to address, that we can help them grow and, oh, look at how much white she has. So it's very common that we see, even though these are black bears, they come in brown and black, and a lot of them will have this white, which I find always really fascinating. And she's got a pretty white, big, wide strip. So her front leg looks good. We're going to come along and palpate her neck and her back, making sure everything is moving well. No lumps and bumps, nothing obvious. So then the other thing I noticed is she's got a little patch of what we call alopecia, or lack of hair. So that might be either that she has a little bit of a skin infection there, maybe some mites. So we'll take a look at that and probably give her some medication for that. And that's on the left side of her pelvis.
I'm gonna sneak behind you. You're good.
Oh, this one. Same thing. Look at these cute little toes. We want to see that they have all their nails, no abrasions on their feet. She looks good. All this little hairy feet, and that all her toes bend and flex like they should. And then we come up, palpate her foot. So this is just like our ankle. This is their ankle here. And making sure it moves well, no fluid in the joint. Her bones feel good, her muscles feel good. Here's her knee, just like our knee. Whoop, she's gonna kick you. Working good. And then feel her thigh muscles. This is her femur and her hip up here. And everything is moving well. Good. And then while she's laying here on the side, I'm gonna feel her belly to make sure that I feel that there isn't anything abnormal in her abdomen. So I come down off her ribs and feel her liver is normal size. She's got 2 little small kidneys that I can palpate. And I'm gonna come down here and feel her intestines and make sure they all feel nice and smooth. Oh, she's been eating something. She's been a good eater. And then I feel for her bladder, and she has just a very small bladder at this point. So all good.
And Dr. Payton, can you tell us about, I'm not sure if we'll be live or not, but we also will ultrasound these guys as well, right?
Correct.
Okay, and what are we looking for when we do that?
So when we're actually looking for normal, so one of the things that Dr. Johnson and myself are looking at is what is the normal in these guys, and making sure that we're not seeing anything that's abnormal with their organs. So looking at their liver, what their liver looks like, their kidneys, their intestines, and just getting a good baseline, because we're really trying to improve and continue to advance what we're doing for these intake. So doing the ultrasound, doing blood work, so they do just like you would get if you went to the doctor. They get a full, complete chemistry, complete blood count. They get a thyroid panel. So it's really to make sure that we're looking at everything and we can recognize normal in these cubs, but then also if there's something abnormal, so we can address it early on in their care and give them the best chance. All right, my friend. So at this point, we're gonna look in her ear on this side. So bears are similar to dogs in that their ear canal, when you see their ear canal here, it goes straight, but then it actually turns in. So unlike us, when you can go straight into your eardrum, I say, don't stick anything in your ear. A bear, similar to a dog, it goes straight down and then it actually curves and goes in towards their head. So when I do this, I actually have to hold onto their ear, place it down, and then move it over so I can actually see their eardrum. And what I'm looking for is making sure they don't have anything down there. Most of these guys have a little bit of dirt, and that's normal coming from the wild. So I place it down and then move it up and make sure that I can see their eardrum. So you are a dirty girl here. She's got some moderate debris in her ears, but I can see her eardrum, which is the tympanic membrane, and it looks really nice. It's nice and shiny and it's intact. And I don't see any ticks or anything in her ear. So just a little bit dirty. We'll take that. That's okay. Good. Because just like other animals, like our dogs that are outside, these guys can get little pieces of plants, like foxtails. They can get ticks. They can get all kinds of stuff in their ears. So we want to take a good look at that. So we're also keeping her eyes covered. We love her beautiful eyes, but remember, we don't want anything stimulating her while she's sedated. So, okay, what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and turn her on her other side.
All right, guys, we are gonna stop the live for a little bit. They're gonna do all the same stuff on the other side, and then we will come back once we have her brother or sister. We will find out on the exam sedated and have both in the exam area, and hopefully be able to show you guys some live weighing and ultrasounding. And so we hope you'll keep an eye on our page and join us back in a little bit. Thanks. So we are back for our second live of black bear cub intake exams here at Gold Country Wildlife Rescue. As many of you may know, we went from 0 bears to 6 bears in about a week. And so we had 4 exams to do today. These are the second set of twins. These are the cubs that came from the South Lake Tahoe area. And Dr. Johnson, you see here, is actually ultrasounding the male, known as Tahoe. And we're just gonna see what he's doing.
So we're using a little bit of alcohol here to give us good acoustic coupling, or allow the scan type here to mate with the bear. And the first thing we're going to look at is the liver. This is the liver here, and that's the gallbladder sitting right there, and that's the portal vein, or one of the main veins that goes into the liver. And this is the diaphragm, and on the other side of that, that's the lung. And so if we go into long axis here, that's all liver that we're seeing there. And then down here, this vessel, which is pumping away, that's the abdominal aorta. And then right next to it, right there, that's the esophagus, which is the swallowing tube between the mouth and the stomach, which will come to right here. And that's the stomach of our bear right there, sitting right in the center of the screen there.
Can you tell if he's had anything good to eat?
Yeah, it looks like he's got some ingestion there. He did have some grapes to lure him into one of the crates there. And then this is an interesting finding, and it's not uncommon to see this. We have a little bit of a clean acoustic shadowing structure in the stomach here, and that looks like a little rock or something that he may have eaten along the way, and that's okay for him. These guys often have a little bit of substrate or rock ingested in them. That's not unusual to see. And then one of the more unique findings in black bears is they have a very, very unique stomach. And so as we zoom in, this is the larger portion of the stomach called the fundus. And as we get down into the body portion of the stomach, you'll see the wall here is much thicker in black bears, or Ursus americanus. And that portion of the stomach is thought to help them out because they're primarily herbivores. People think of bears as primarily eating meat, but our California black bears here, the Ursus americanus, they primarily eat fruits and vegetables and grasses, and they'll supplement themselves with meat and carrion, and they're designed to eat those fruits and vegetables and grasses based on their stomach there. It's a very muscular stomach, and it helps them grind up the plant material and absorb it better. So these guys are actually built to be herbivores. Yeah, so once again, there's that portion of their stomach which is really, really thick walled there, and that helps them grind everything up and grind up all those herbs and grasses and fruits and vegetables they eat. And then this is just a little bit of small bowel. That's a little bit of small intestine coming in there. Another thing that's really fascinating about Ursus americanus is their kidneys here, and they're very unique kidneys. They're not shaped quite like the dog and cat or even people kidneys. They're actually more akin to cetacean and pinniped kidneys. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what cetaceans and pinnipeds are, those are seafaring creatures. And so these are similar kidneys to what dolphins would have. And so yeah, those are cetacean or pinniped type kidneys. So you can think about a black California black bear as being a little bit of every species sort of glued together. They've got some seafaring creature kidneys. They have a stomach built to eat grasses and herbs and vegetables and fruits. And we'll supplement their diet with some meat, but mostly they're going to be herbivores. And this is our little black bear's urinary bladder right here, and that's that dark water balloon down there is a urinary bladder right there. And then we'll come around and we have another kidney right there, and so there's our black bear's right kidney right there. And then as we get towards the mid-abdomen, it's going to be mostly small intestine, and there's that small intestine kind of coursing in through there and some of the larger vessels, and those little tiny structures sitting in there, those are just some abdominal lymph nodes, and those are normal to see in this guy. And so this exam on this black bear here is looking pretty darn normal, and that's a really, really good thing.
Thank you for showing us around. We have not weighed this specific cub yet. As I mentioned before, this is a little boy, and we do not name any of the animals in our care typically. With black bears, that's the one exception that we do sometimes do. We don't give them names to call them this or snuggle them or teach them their name, but it's actually names that we can use. With 6 bears in care, it's much easier to use a name than a number when we're talking about care or who needs what diet or medication. So this little one is known as Tahoe for the time being. And his sister, who you guys may have seen Dr. Payton working on earlier, is Rubicon. And you can notice the color difference in these bears. Dr. Payton mentioned this in our last live as well. But you can see these are twins. But this little girl, Rubicon, is a very different color than her brother, who's pretty much all black with the big white blaze in his chest. And this little girl weighed, I believe, 22.6 pounds. So to give you an idea of size, not quite sure what her brother will come in at, but guessing probably around the same weight. I'll just show you guys around a little bit more. As Dr. Johnson continues to see what's going on inside this little one. And these guys are collecting specimens, blood, fur, all the good stuff.
Making sure everything is working like it should. Blood is always important to get. And then we can also compare when they're ready to be released too. Make sure and compare from what their blood work looked like initially and then what it is when they leave us. And the same thing, we can chart how much they've grown, not only with their weight, but their size and their teeth. And just really keep an eye on all their health parameters. So,
all good things to know. Also, if you've been watching the stories on these cubs, these guys came in at about 15 pounds. So they've been with us for, I want to say a week and a half or so, maybe 2 weeks now, I guess. And, so they're up to 22, 23 pounds. So they are growing as they should be. And so we will continue. That's why we appreciate all the support from everyone who helps us feed these guys, because if you've ever had teenagers eating you out of house and home, you can imagine what 6 bear cubs might be like. And as they grow, they just keep eating more. So we hope you guys enjoyed the live. If anything else exciting happens, I will definitely come back and share it with you. Otherwise, keep an eye out and we'll keep updates coming. 6 cubs in total. These are the Tahoe cubs that came in. Have a great weekend, everybody.